explain this as I pull it apart. You can see I've used this green painter's tape. The lacquer is pretty checked on this one. It's fairly fragile, so I was sure to use a lighter adhesive painter's tape to put this thing all back together. The customer dropped the guitar. The strap had slipped off the button and the guitar hit the floor. And you have all heard me extol the wonders of hide glue. And in this case, it was even more critical that this was put together with hide glue for several reasons. But when the guitar hit the floor, it actually loosened up the top from the waist right around the full circumference to the other waist. A very good thing about hide glue, it's the only glue that you can do this with, is when you mix up the fresh batch of hide glue, it will amalgamate with that original hide glue. There's no other glue you could do that with. So by getting just the right viscosity of hide glue, I mixed it up. I gently pried that open to get the glue in there with just the right thickness and just the right amount of heat, at 155 degrees Fahrenheit. We managed to get this thing back together pretty clean, and you're going to take a look at it in a second. So this was the orientation that I had the instrument in when I fed that hide glue in there. If you had it the other way around, then any excess glue would run down the sides. I managed to kind of flood that pretty good, and I've got the body on a very slight angle this way to encourage the flow of the glue to come towards that lower bout. So we're going to finally flip it over now and take a good look at this. As I've mentioned in other videos, another virtue of hide glue is it doesn't stick to lacquer. Let me bring you in for a closer look. I was careful not to get too much glue onto the surface of the soundboard when I was doing this. So there's very little, there's a little bit of residual glue. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. There's almost nothing on there. You can see there's a little bit there, and you see how that just flakes off? I was generous enough to get enough glue to get this to stick, but not too much that it kind of ran all over everything. Well, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up some hot water and just wash that edge all the way around. We have got this thing to the point where this is as close to undetectable as you can possibly hope for. One of my customers had asked, "Oh, are you going to pull the top off?" Well, absolutely not. Was not necessary. So I'm going to heat up some water, we'll wipe that down, and we'll be ready for the smoke test, put some strings on that, and string it up. Well, this guitar's definitely seen some rough and tumble honky-tonk action over its lifetime, but you can see how clean that came out. You would never know that this top was ever delaminated like that. So the glue break started here and went right around the entire lower bout, past the tail block, and it ended about here. Here's a look at the top. No glue squeeze. We got that cleaned up pretty good. Now, this guitar has had a neck reset. I believe it was Mark over at Folkway that did a beautiful job. Look at how high the arch is on that top. And the bridge was off and back on. I noticed he put a little slip of rosewood over top of that soft spruce bridge plate, which is a great idea. And under those little dots, of course, there are fasteners holding that very narrow bridge on. I did lower the saddle a little bit. It was playing a bit sharp. Hard to know whether that was after the knock or not. So after dropping that saddle down, all that sharpness disappeared. Here's a very simple tuning test. Just a garden variety C chord with that G on the top. Move it up 2 frets. And then move up to the 8th fret, 8th and 10th for a G.